What's up, ladies and gentlemen? And once again, welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. I wanted to drop this one on you all because I wanted to revisit some old news that brings fresh revelation. All right. Xavien Howard, the origin of the issues that we're having today. There is a video that has been going around. It was from the Man to Man podcast. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you go over and check them out. They get some pretty good interviews. But the Man to Man podcast did an interview with Xavien Howard just over a year ago. It was last year, post draft, post free agency. And they got a chance to sit down and talk with Xavien Howard. Well, they didn't do it last year. They actually did it this year, but it was about last year, okay? The offseason that was had. I'm going to try to play a clip of it. Let me see here. Y'all give me a second. I want to make it small because I don't want no issues. Bear with me one moment, guys. All right, this is the best one we're going to see. So I want to play the clip of it because I want us to really look at where all this began and what Xavien Howard had to say about signing Byron Jones and what's his name? Noah Igbenogany, drafting him. All right.
We've been talking about Carson Wentz, for instance. Carson Wentz, a guy get drafted at the quarterback position too. That's kind of like we spoke about the business side. That kind of like the writing on the wall a lot of times. So this offseason, the Dolphins went and paid Byron Jones, my UConn guy. They went and drafted a corner in the first round. And I know for some guys, you look at A-Rod, they drafted a quarterback in the first round. He turned up and had an MVP season. I look at your situation, it's like, shit, you turned up and had pretty much a defensive MVP season. What's that mindset like, especially, being in year 5, already paid, but now you got these other guys get paid and get drafted at your position. Did that have any effect on your mindset, or you locked in the zone?
For sure it did. I had the big surgery. Coming off with that big surgery, the business side of it, they got to bring somebody in that's reliable.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case my knee don't hold up, they draft the first round also.
Yep.
So I feel like it was a slap in the face. I feel like that added fuel to the fire. It just made me go harder. But on the time, my mindset was like, bruh, like I said, I'm gonna get it out the mud, my back against the wall. Every time I bet on myself, I perform and do something well. So, I wasn't really tripping on it.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's added fuel to the fire, and I did what I did, each week in and week out. I'm like, man, I'm going to make them pay.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I done messed it up. Y'all bear with me. But there you have it. That's what the origin of all of this was. Xavien Howard recognized last year, from a business standpoint, the organization was
with belly fat.
They were concerned about his knee.
Keep it off. Then
I've got news for you. I got a commercial playing. My bad. I had a commercial playing. Y'all forgive me from that video. Let's see. Let's remove it. But he basically said, from a business standpoint, the organization was concerned about his injuries. And they had to bring in a reliable replacement. And there lies Byron Jones. And they also drafted a guy in the first round. And it was a slap in the face to him. Let me ask y'all a question, Fins Nation. Do y'all feel like that was a slap in the face, honestly? Do y'all feel like that was a slap in the face to Xavien Howard? I mean, we know how he feels. He feels it was a slap in the face. But I'm curious, do you all feel like that was a slap in the face? I don't. Because at the end of the day, how could it be a slap in the face when you just got your brand new deal? You just got your brand new deal, and all you had to do was ball out and continue to play well. They're not slap you in the face. Just play well and honor your contract. And that's what he did. Now, I am happy that he had fuel. I am happy that there was a fuel to the fire. I'm happy that there was something that made him, go even harder. which I never understand why players say that. That's actually like bad that something had to make you go harder. Like, isn't that something you're supposed to do in the first place? Go hard as you can. But I know some people need fuel. MJ needed fuel. He needed something to just get him ticked off. So I get it. But at the same token, man, I don't think the team was trying to slap the man in the face. I just think that they were preparing for the future, because the future after this contract anyway was not going to be with Xavien Howard. Byron Jones was a reliable source, but he was also brought in to make this defense better and play opposite of UX. And that's what's happening right now, and the plan is being executed. But Noah Igbenogany, on the other hand, he was brought in to replace you. And they're not slapping you in your face in that regards. They're just basically saying, we want a guy right now that we could develop for 2 to 3 years and then easily take on your spot. We want a guy that we can pay $1 million or $2 million a year to, plus have you. And when your contract is finally up, he can go in and you can go out, because that's the business. You'll be 30 years old. We're not trying to insult you, but we don't think we're going to have you past 30 years old. And that's just the reality of it. So again, I don't think and in the event that you do get hurt, we have insurance and we're not stuck up a creek. Like, honestly, you've left us many times before. So we love you. We value you. But we're preparing for the future. And Xavien Howard said he always bets on himself. So I have a question, though, for everyone. Did he bet on himself when he accepted the previous contract? See, that's what's interesting to me. Now, again, do not get me wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with what X is doing right now. I know a lot of y'all Dolphin fans got a problem. Oh, I'm mad at X. I got a problem with what he's doing. He's doing what's best for him, and I salute that. But it's certain things that I just can't walk past. Like, I always bet on myself. Did you bet on yourself when you signed the original deal? Because had you bet on yourself when you signed the original deal, you would have never signed the original deal, because the original deal was already built into having potential injuries. The original deal might have made you the highest paid for 30 days, because that's all it lasted for. He became like the highest paid for 30 days, and then the new contracts start coming, and then he was out of there, number 6 or whatever. But if you bet on yourself and you knew what, like put it like this, ladies and gentlemen, imagine Xavien Howard without the previous injuries. His contract would have never been what it is right now. He would have gotten a lot more. But he had those injuries. And if you felt like you were worth more then, if you bet on yourself, you would have never signed that deal. You didn't bet on yourself. You took the deal that builds in just in case you get hurt. So even yourself factored in, just in case I get hurt, I'm still happy with this. Like, think about that, ladies and gentlemen. What if X had 5 picks this year and then went out game 8 and was hurt? Would he be complaining right now? No, he would be like, yeah, I'm happy I took this deal, because I'm not even worth what it is now if I had got hurt. But we know he didn't get hurt, but that's what the deal is built for. The deal was built to reward you even if you got hurt. 12 to 13 million a year is a really good salary for a guy who seems like only played half of his 5 years anyway, who's only available for 50 to 60% of the time anyway. That's a beautiful deal. But he said that he bet on himself. And I just feel like if you bet on yourself, you would have never took the first deal. You would have played another year and proved it. But, no, like, I want y'all to think about this. He took the deal, then was out for a season. Think about that. He took the deal, got hurt, and was out. Imagine had he actually betted on himself when they offered him that deal and said, no, I'm going to play this last year out. Imagine that. Imagine him saying, no, I'm going to play this. and he got hurt, he would have never got that deal. He would have been a 4-year, $40 million guy. But instead, they up front gave him the $70 million. They up front gave him a contract worth over $70 million. I'm just saying. But now when the rubber meets the road, well, I did ball out. I didn't get hurt. Let's stick it to him. But people need to understand. They actually gave him a deal, and he's already used 1 year of the money being hurt. Have y'all considered that he's already been out and he got paid? So I understand he has to do what he has to do. It's almost like, I don't care. I'm still going to try to go get even more money. It is what it is. I'm for it. Get your cash. If I was in this situation, I'm getting paid. But this is why you have to have a little bit of sympathy for Chris Greer and Brian Flores in this situation, because if they do give him a deal, they will feel screwed. They are going to feel some type of way. And I get that. They're going to feel some type of way. And don't let him get the money and then next thing you know, he get hurt. See? Because people want him to get a deal without considering the potential of injuries. It's like drafting a brand new quarterback. In year 1, he got hurt, only played 5 games. In year 2, he got hurt, only played 7 games. In year 3, he got hurt, only played 3 games. Year 4, he gets hurt and he plays 10 games. And year 5, he's up for a contract. You want him to, just because in the small sample size that he did play, he balled out. But you want to pay him like the injuries never existed. If Patrick Mahomes get a 10-year, $500 million, and Tua should. I mean, you just got to look at the games that he actually did play. He was the best in the league. You're right. He was rated number 1 in the games that he played in the entire NFL. Every game he threw 6 touchdowns, had 700 yards, ran the ball for 200, was a 90% completion rating, and like it's never been done. He's like phenomenal. But in 4 years, he's only played a year and a half worth. And you want to pay him like Patrick Mahomes. See, that's what people are in essence saying when you say pay the man with X. I know that's extreme, but I have to be extreme for you to see the picture. I have to be extreme for you to see the picture that I'm trying to help you understand. You missed the playoffs every single one of those years because he wasn't his availability. And some of y'all would even go as further. It ain't his fault his O-line suck. Injury prone to injury, however you want to call it. It has to be factored into a contract. And Xavien Howard's original contract was injuries factored in, and it still was a lucrative contract with injuries factored in. It was still lucrative. It was still lucrative. Not only was it lucrative, he signed the freaking paper and got hurt right after. Come on, y'all. He signed the paper. And in 2019, he only played 5 games. He signed the paper. I got my new deal and played 5 games. Right after he signed it. He already got 12, 13 million for 5 games. And last year, yeah, he wasn't hurt, even though the first 5 games, he was limping around, getting beat all over the field. Go check the film. Don't argue with me. In the first 5 games, he looked a little rusty. And albeit due to injury, that's fine. And then he balls out for the rest of the season. And we just want to forget he only played 5 games on one of the years already. So in the last 2 years, they've given him about almost $25 million. $25 million. And he done missed 11 or 12 games in that time span. Shout out to Mr. Ballgame, said this entire situation is unsettling because he's acting like he isn't under contract and he missed 11 games in 2019. Exactly. But I can't I can't get mad at the man. This isn't about X for me because I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if TD was your best corner, I'd be doing the same thing because at the end of the day, only money matters for me and my family when it comes to the NFL. I'm not knocking him. I don't have a problem with what he's doing. The only reason I'm even mentioning this is because we have to understand as a fan base the position Brian Flores and Chris Greer is in and the tough decision they have to make. And we have to understand if X isn't on this roster to come to start a season and we trade him, it is justified. If they trade Xavien Howard, they did it justifiably. Not they tripping. They should have found the money to pay this man at all costs. No, you need to understand the situation they're in. They are justified in trading him without the fan base. Oh, we're stupid for doing that, blah, blah, blah. We got to stop that. Now, I still believe that they might work it out or they might just become suckers and pay the man. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. I, for one, want him to pay the man for this only reason. I don't want him to pay him, but there is one reason I want him to pay him. Because if Xavien Howard isn't on the field and Noah doesn't turn the corner yet, because we're hoping he does, right? If he doesn't, then our offense can't rely on our defense as much. See, I understand the fact that I always throw in y'all face that even though Xavien Howard had 10 picks, we didn't convert off of none of them. I know I throw that in your face all the time. But I got to give credit where credit is due for the simple fact that those picks also stopped the other teams from scoring. So even though we didn't convert them, they did stop the other team from scoring. So our offense can't sit there and be relying now. Because we're not going to, even if we replace him, we're not going to have another 10-pick guy. It's not likely, ladies and gentlemen. It's not even likely that we'll get a guy who's going to put up more than 5. It's just not likely. So our offense has to be better. More pressure on our young quarterback to put up points. Now we can't let Jason Sanders bail us out because it's going to be a field goal too short at the end of the game. And I, once again, feel like Tua is a year 3 guy, and he's not ready for that yet. And that ain't a knock on Tua. I just think that year 3, he'll be a polished player that's ready to rock and roll. But if Xavien Howard isn't here and our offense is required to do more and we see our offense continue to come up short, it's going to be even a worse look on our young quarterback. It's just the truth. With more weapons and all. Because there also are going to be the whole notion that there's no excuses built in now. There are no excuses built in now. So that's why I want our defense to continue to play at a really elite level and get turnovers and keep other teams from scoring, keep their points down. Just my take. Just my take. See what y'all said in the comment section. Also, if I remember correctly, the Dolphins shut down anyone they considered part of their future the season he was supposedly injured. True. Because I remember they start pulling players at the end. They would have them on the injury report, and then we'd be like, when are they coming back? And then the Miami Dolphins decided, they're done for the season. Even though I believe a lot of those guys weren't even injured anymore. And some could even argue even that year that X could have came back. But they shut him down anyway, taking care of him. I don't know. Whew. Speak of elite, Josh Allen, am I right? Nah, you're not right. None of us expected X to be this good. Maybe Noah is our X. No one expected X to be this good. How good? As good as he was when Byron Jones came on the scene? Or as good as he was before Byron Jones when Rashad Jones was behind him? And this time Eric Rowe was behind him. Y'all can ignore it all you want. But Xavien Howard has had his best seasons when he's had a safety over the top of him who knew what they were doing. Eric Rowe balled out last year, and Bobby McCain did too. Rashad Jones was the last year of X's breakout year. And now adding an elite corner opposite of him makes everything equal opportunity. I mean, y'all see the film. You see all the baited interceptions. I done already told y'all, out of 10 interceptions from X, there's like 4 of them were like, man, that is just pure talent. The other 6, underthrown, overthrown, baited them, stupid quarterback, throws an underthrow ball that was baited. And at the end of the day, I still give him credit because you got to make the play, and he makes it. He makes it. We'll see, man. Good as he was before Byron, he turned into a ball hawk into year 3. 7 interceptions, year 4, interception year before. He's always been a ball hawk. But what y'all don't talk about is Xavien Howard has drastically improved his cover skills. He has actually improved his coverage skills. Now, he still gambles too much in that baiting, and then the great quarterbacks eat him alive for it. Because we're not talking about like I want y'all to go. You know what? A good exercise would be go watch the last game of the season versus Buffalo. The baiting that he tries to do and pays for it. Go watch it. And dang, that makes me give Josh Allen credit, but go watch it. Go watch the baiting that's being done and the cost of it. I think that's the game he gave up 7 out of 8 receptions or something like that, over 119 yards or something like that. Go watch how it happened. You'll see what I'm talking about. Quarterbacks got to place the ball in the right place when a corner's baiting you. And a lot of quarterbacks don't. They just see an open guy and try to bullet it to him, but he takes the underneath, like he beelines it underneath. He's not following the receiver. He's waiting on you to throw the ball so he can come underneath and jump for it. TD, if Watson isn't coming, why not just pay X? Do you know what Watson's cap hit would have been this year had he come? That's why. And on top of that, you also have to understand if Watson was coming, there were some players that were going to be going, and they were going to make room for Watson's cap. And on top of that, maybe he's still coming. It may just not be this year. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Time will tell, all right? But anyway, man, I'm finna get out of here. I just wanted to drop that one on y'all. Xavien Howard, the root of where all of this started from in the first place, he felt some type of way last offseason. When they got Byron Jones and drafted Noah Igbenogany, it bothered him. It touched his feelings, and he said it drove him. And we got great play out of him. Hopefully this year he's still on the roster when we get even better play. All right. This is TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. See y'all soon. I might give y'all another one today. I want to talk about this whole Brady to Miami situation, man. Everybody keep bothering me about it. Brady was possibly coming to Miami. I'll talk about it later. I'll see y'all soon. Peace. I'm out. Love you.